I'd like to give a quick thanks to Ms. McCracken for inviting me to this event. And before I share my story with you guys, I'm going to give a brief overview about the importance of student-teacher relationships. In today's society, students of all ages face many challenges such as family issues, friend issues, bullying, drama, status challenges, and those are just to name a few. But I think teachers' roles nowadays have expanded from being the educator to being a mentor, a friend, counselor, psychologist, a mediator. And positive student-teacher relationships actually enable students to feel safe and secure in their learning environments. You know, sometimes you'll be fortunate enough to get teachers like Mrs. Schellenberg who will go beyond the classroom of caring, and that relationship helps to foster a strong foundation which helps guide the student themselves in the right direction, such as focusing on their education, enhancing their social skills, and dealing with difficult situations, which is exactly what she helped me through. And so now I'm going to share my personal story on a wonderful life that made a difference to me. Grade 6, Mrs. Schellenberg, for those of you who don't know, was my teacher, and it was one of the toughest years I've ever had. And one day during lunch recess, I was hanging with all my friends, and one of my closest friends and I had gotten into a big argument. I wanted to work it out, but she just downright ignored me. And when you're in grade 6, relationships come to be important to you. And so me, being my grade 6 self, I said, no, I can't deal with this. I gotta get away. And I made a misguided decision while in the heat of the moment to run away from school. And I would say I was out there for about 4 hours, and while my mind was thinking that, why couldn't my friend and I resolve it? Like, does anyone even care about me? Well, little did I know that during those 4 hours, not only had my parents been contacted, but the police did as well. And then almost everybody was out looking for me. So I had multiple groups of people out looking for me because they were worried about me. Well, I was gone thinking no one cared. But the first person to find me was my school librarian. And just let me refresh you guys that the day I ran away, it was super cold out, and when I had gone outside for recess, I was not properly dressed. I had my toque on, my mitts, my boots, so I didn't have a jacket or snow pants or a scarf, and that she had immediately bundled me up in blankets because not only was my body numb, but my lips were purple and my teeth were chattering uncontrollably. And when we were walking up to the school, only one person stood out to me, and the person was Mrs. Schellenberg. Let's just say when I saw the tears in her eyes and the pain that was so very visible that it broke my heart, making me feel instantly guilty. But even though she was in a worried state, she embraced me and whispered how she was glad that I was okay. So of course, I had to sit down with my principal and my family and the police and answer some questions like, what had happened that led me to choose to run away? Like, am I okay? And are you telling us less than you're letting on? But when all of that was done after the weekend, and when I showed up back to school, Mrs. Schellenberg was there for me 24/7, always helping me, encouraging me, inspiring me, giving me hugs, and just helping me get back to my happy self. And once I was back, we started working on my education. And where I am today is because of our relationship, because she went beyond the classroom of caring, and I am who I am today because of her. I'm Chantelle Kirk, I'm strong, I'm focused, and it was all because of you, Mrs. Schellenberg. I see you over there. After that day, you were not just my teacher, you were my friend, my mentor, and I can't express how grateful I am for you. You had that big of an impact in my life, so thank you, Mrs. Schellenberg, for being the who that made such a profound difference in my life.